Hello. So I'm going to demonstrate a movement-based somatic practice that will help you to move deeper into union within, into your self-union, into your temple body, to root in, to move through where you may be stuck, holding constriction in the body. This is a really great practice that allows you to kind of unfold, right? Unfold, express, move through, release, let go, right? And it's an expression of your practice of coming into union, of what it is that you're desiring to create for yourself, create for your community, create for your family. And this practice allows you to release out of anything that you're really holding on to, right? In the body, in the mind space. It allows you to drop deeper in, just kind of get out of looping patterns. Before I stepped into this space, I also I have a practice of creating sacred space. So I lit a candle. I cleaned up a little bit, allowing the space to feel a little bit more energetically clear, a little bit more energetically clean, less cluttered, right? Space for me to move. Releasing out of distractions, right? That tends to be a really hard thing. I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this, right? All these things that we have to do until we are able to move into, right? Whatever practice it is that we are supporting, or that's supporting us. And the union's not out there, right? It's within ourselves. And so in order to experience it, you have to kind of get in there and experience it physically, right? The sensation, the feeling, the coming together. So I invite you to perhaps, you can just witness, you can watch, you can hear, you can listen, you can envision, you can move yourself, whatever's going to feel good. Put on some music, music that feels good to you, music that feels right, and you're just going to be moving, right? And these are going to be intentional movements, and they're going to be spontaneous, right? There's no watching me in order for you to do it. It's going to arise from within. Right? Closing your eyes can really help with this practice. So you're not watching me and copying me, right? You're closing your eyes, you're listening perhaps as a guide, but you're tuning within. And your own expression is going to come through. That is the idea. So I'm going to put on some music, but I am not going to have it in the background because I'm sure I will violate some kind of copyright law. So I invite you to, again, if that's something that feels good to you, go ahead and do that. You can put on nature sounds. Sound really helps to kind of, set the tone. And depending on what it is that you're wanting to move into, attune to, move through, right, the music should match that. Anything you do should match that, right? So connect into your intention. What is the intention in this moment? What do you need most? What do you need to move through? What would you like to, how would you like to be post-practice? How would you like to experience yourself post-practice? I hesitate to use the word feel because feel is right? Feelings are transitory. Emotions are transitory. Whereas being, right, is a different level to kind of access. You can be anchored, right? You're anchored in your being. You're anchored. I mean, we can get out of alignment with our being or our true nature, right? Yes. We can get dysregulated and we're not able to kind of be, right, in that wholeness, in that authenticity, in that relaxed, right, grounded self. I don't know where I was going with that. Anyways, the being, right, setting your intentions and how you would like to be, right, post practice is really helpful. So could, some descriptive words. I have done this practice and I tend to go back to these words of, being present and being playful. Being present and being playful. Within this practice, within my expression, as I go forth about my day into my daily life, right, into my relationships, into my mission, right, this is how I want to be. This is what I want to be anchored into. You could also connect to a sensation that you might want to experience, or an experience you may want to have is better. So perhaps you want to experience what it feels like to be anchored in discernment, or to be balanced with your masculine and feminine energies, right? Or to feel grounded, or to feel anchored in your core values and operating from that space, right? That is the idea. So you can get creative, get playful, right? Get present, come to this moment now, right? Release out of any old stories that you may have, or any attachments to a specific outcome, right? And just be here now in this practice, in this presence of embodying that which you want to experience, experiencing that union. I hope that makes sense. So I'm just going to take a moment to put on some music, and then I'll hang out with you guys for a little bit of time, and I might guide you in some specific prompts, right? And if you were to work with me, let's say one-to-one, or in my group program or my membership, we can get much more into this space. But this is a blank template, right? It's blank space. It is whatever you want to bring into it within alignment. Oh, excuse my sweatiness. um, right, so coming back into this space, anchoring in, right, what came through for you. For me, what came through for me, and I invite you to sit down with pen, paper. It helps to embody it deeper when you write it out, right? It's a really good practice, journaling. Right, we all experience resistance, right? So and I'm sharing that, number one. And number two, to expand upon that aspect. So this was my first dance, temple body dance, since before I conceived my daughter, which was, my daughter is 16 months, so 16 plus, let's say 10 months, it's 26 months, so over 2 years. And this was a foundational practice for me for many years. I shouldn't say many years, but years. It was something that helped me to stay grounded and focused through a lot of ups and downs and challenges and moments. So I was tuning into that, the celebration of that, the ceremony of that, of coming back to, kind of like completing that portion of my journey, having my daughter. And it's been a journey for the last 2 years, which I'm sure I will talk about more. So that was, and I didn't dance while I was pregnant. So there was a lot of resistance there during this season of conceiving and giving birth and postpartum and healing and becoming a mom again. So I was tuning into that. I was also tuning into a prayer that wanted to come through, a prayer for peace, a prayer for world peace. We are experiencing so much death and destruction and war and genocide right now on this planet. And as I share that, the sadness of the complacency and the complicitness, if that's a word, within it. And so this prayer wanted to be birthed for world peace, for an end to genocide in Gaza, in Congo, in the Sudan, right? And all of the wars that are currently taking place and the killing of innocent people, just the killing even. And that's deep. And I wanted to share that prayer and that alignment to work that brings light to the truth of what is happening, wherever it is happening, and the end to the distortion and the lies and the complacency and complicitness and the upholding of these old systems that are keeping things in the status quo and going. And we are at a choice point. Humanity, are we going to continue going down this direction? It is a scary path. Or are we going to step into our individual and collective missions, if we want to say that, and shift and facilitate change? So I'll kind of leave you with that, because I could probably go on. So I'd love to hear what came up for you. Please do share in the comments. Please be kind and respectful. And if you don't have anything supportive to say, I'd love to say you can stick it, but please go elsewhere. This is not the space. And I'm excited to share more practices with you and share more of my journey when the time comes. So wishing you all the best and sending lots of love. And I cannot wait to hear what came up for you in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, hit like, and get this channel moving. Toodaloo.